So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 4 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to talk about today include Square Enix's push for part ownership and Sony. Sony hits back on the Activision Xbox deal, PSVR 2 hands-on impressions were amazing, and Sony attending another show next month. First, Square Enix or Activision. If Sony could buy Activision and had the choice of buying out one, Square or Activision, which one would you guys want to happen? This is a follow-up to one of my older questions on if you guys cared if Call of Duty was Xbox exclusive, and most said no, so I kind of can tell where this will go, but I'm still curious to see the answers. So comment below, Square Enix or Activision, which one would you want under Sony? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, Sony hits back on the Xbox Activision deal. So let's get this one out of the way. Reading from Video Game Chronicle, Sony has responded to the news that the UK competition regulator has launched an in-depth probe of Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. On Thursday, the Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, said its inquiry into the $68.7 billion merger has officially been expanded to a second phase due to a number of antitrust concerns. Notably, the CMA is worried about the impact the deal could have on PlayStation's ability to compete, given that the deal would see Microsoft gain ownership of the Call of Duty series. Sony welcomed the news that the CMA is to expand its inquiry in a statement issued to GamesIndustry.biz. By giving Microsoft control of Activision games like Call of Duty, this deal would have major negative implications for gamers and the future of the gaming industry. It claimed, "We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality gaming experience, and we appreciate the CMA's focus on protecting gamers." So I have not changed my stance on this. ABK is too big to be owned by any of the big three, PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo. This conversation around Sony securing exclusive content for Call of Duty being compared to Microsoft buying the entire publisher itself is a ridiculous comparison. And it was funny to actually have to debate people on that. Some are really out here acting like Xbox does not secure exclusive content, exclusive games. Stalker 2, Scorn, Warhammer 40k Darktide, Naraka Bladepoint, Arc 2, High on Life, Ereban Shadow Legacy, Ravenlock, As Dusk Falls, The Last Case of Benedict Fox, Lightyear, Frontier, etc. All of these games are secured exclusives for Xbox, so they both do it. Let's just stop that debate. There's a difference from securing exclusive content to buying out an entire publisher. And in terms of how this will impact the industry, none of us really know. People are guessing out here. Do I think if Call of Duty was owned by Xbox, PlayStation would flop and die out? No. Will it be impacted? Yes. People commenting on Jim Ryan like he's not just the head of a business and just trying to secure the best outcome. At least I wasn't hyped for E3 for many years to just be disappointed. But I get that there too. What else did people expect Phil Spencer to do? Not to tell you to be excited for the next E3 because he's the head of Xbox. What do you want him to do? These guys aren't your friends. They're not our friends. They run businesses, and that's what they're going to do. In the end, either way, in my opinion, Call of Duty should not be owned by any of the big three. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Sony attending another show in October. So this is a short one here. The Brazil game show happens next month on October 12th, and Sony is set to be there. The official Brazil game show account tweeted this out recently. "Did you want to see PlayStation Brazil in BGS 2022? To show their love for Brazilian fans, PlayStation will bring the biggest booth in BGS history with over 1,000 meters squared. And that's not all, gentlemen. It's going to be the record number of game stations at a PlayStation booth at BGS. So I don't think this will be anything major in terms of, for people like us. It's probably just going to be an event for Brazilian gamers to try out upcoming games and maybe get some exposure for PlayStation VR 2. God of War also comes out the following month, so I assume that's also going to get a solid amount of shine there. I wish Sony would bring their setups to places in Canada. I would love to be able to go to an event and try out PlayStation VR 2 before it launches next year, but you guys let me know if you live in Brazil or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the third story of the video, PlayStation VR 2 hands-on. So Sony had a pretty weak showing for PlayStation VR 2 at their State of Play on Tuesday, but then what did they do literally the next day? The hands-on impressions for PlayStation VR 2 go live, and they were amazing. I was binging PlayStation VR 2 impressions like it was an amazing Netflix series that Netflix has yet to cancel. I went from one video to the next, and even though they all played the same 4 games, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil 8, Star Wars, and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2, just hearing each of their individual thoughts on the headset was pure joy for me. The consensus for the headset was majorly positive. The controllers feel great, the haptics were great, the headset haptics were subtle and not distracting. I saw multiple references to Horizon Call of the Mountain and the Stormbird flying overhead and feeling that thanks to the haptics. The visuals are top tier apparently, which I expected, I'll say that. One of the points made was in regards to Resident Evil 8 on PlayStation VR 2 versus the PC VR mod versions of Resident Evil 8, and how the visuals and everything all around is better on PlayStation VR 2. Visuals in general are PlayStation 5 levels of visuals, not just a game being made for VR. People who play VR understand what I mean there. The crazy thing for me here is the jump from PlayStation VR 1 to Quest 2 levels of visuals to PlayStation 5 levels of visuals in VR I'm about to experience when this thing drops. I'm beyond ready. The only complaints I've really heard were around the OLED screen and some weird effects happening that don't really distract but apparently are noticeable. I also heard these things can probably be fixed via software, so hopefully it's resolved before the launch of the headset on the developer side and on Sony's side as well. I also have to mention the IGN preview. It was a weird one, but the complaints there didn't really seem like anything. Having to hold down buttons to hold a gun could probably be switched off and on in the settings. Not feeling the haptics triggers much was a weird one, since every other person or most of the other people that had their impressions on PlayStation VR 2 complimented the haptics and triggers. The headphones complaint, I'll give him that one, but it's not really a big deal for me to use my own headsets instead of built-in ones. Would I have liked built-in ones? For sure. Regardless, overall, it was positive experiences all around. I honestly just want to be able to pre-order this thing and just lock one down. Sony, let me know when I can do this already. And now diving into the final story of the video, Sony part ownership of Square Enix. So not too long ago, we heard about Square Enix being open to allowing companies to buy parts of their businesses, and we heard that Sony was probably a buyer here as well. Apparently, there was an update on this thanks to Axios's Stefan Totillo for noticing it. He tweeted this out recently. Missed this last week, but Square Enix finally released a transcript of their president's August 4th investor briefing, complete with twist ending. Says it's too costly to always fully own their game studios, open to joint ventures, taking minority stakes. In the report, Square Enix president Yoshiko Matsuda said this: traditionally, it has been our general policy to own our development studios outright. However, development costs have risen sharply in recent years, and so I want to identify ways of allocating capital to studios that give us greater flexibility. These can include not only full ownership, but also joint ventures, equity method affiliates, and minority stakes. Rather than insisting upon full ownership, we will hedge our risk by investing in studios via a range of capital structures as we work to enrich our portfolio and achieve sustained growth. So Sony recently took part ownership of From Software, so if they're not going to outright buy all of Square Enix, they'll definitely be a part of this part ownership process, I assume, and the developers they're going to focus on are most likely the ones behind Final Fantasy Remake. Let's see how this plays out, of course, but you guys let me know if you want Sony to own some of Square Enix or outright buy all of Square Enix. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with getting closer to Ragnarok. Every day we are getting closer to God of War Ragnarok after this week's trailer. I was already excited. I'm beyond excited now. That was an amazing trailer, and I cannot wait. If you are excited for Ragnarok as well, destroy the comment section with getting closer to Ragnarok, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.